Hey everybody, and welcome to this amazing lesson. We're going to do Albatross by Fleetwood Mac. It's an amazing song. I love this one, so let's begin. Right, we're going to start off with a capo on fret 2. We're going to go into drop D tuning. Okay, so you're going to tune your low E string down to D. Okay, and let's begin. We're going to break it up into parts. The first part is a little theme of the kind of chordal playing. Okay, and what we've got here is a kind of fragment of a major bar chord, but basically your middle finger is going to go on 1, 2, 3, 4 frets from the capo on the G string, and your index is going to bar across the 3rd fret of the B and high E. Okay, so those are your notes: 4th fret G, 3rd fret on the B and high E. You can play it with one finger on each note instead if you prefer, so you don't have to do the bar. Okay, so you can do index on 3rd fret high E, middle, 3rd fret B, ring, 4th fret G, if you want to. Okay, so that's your first chord. Okay, at this position, it's based around an A major. Okay, so we'll call it an A major fragment. Okay, and then we're going to go a little bar across the 2nd fret, okay, of the G, B and high E. Okay, again, you can play that with individual fingers if you want, but you're going to have to squeeze your fingers in there if that's the case. Practice either, so you could do individual fingers and then slide them all back to the 2nd fret on the G, B and high E for the G sharp, or do the bar versions. Okay, so that's a big part of this song, by the way. Okay, so what we're doing, we're starting the piece off with an open A string, and then we're doing a pinch on the G, B and high E, the first chord and then the 2nd chord. Then we've got this theme going underneath throughout, which is kind of a blues shuffle on the low E. It's a blues shuffle rhythm anyway. So it's worth practicing that. Boom, 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 boom. Just get your thumb going for as long as you can with that. And it's just pluck, stop, pluck, 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 pluck. So get that rhythm, because that drives the whole piece. Okay, so you're going to take your time just getting that going. Okay, so we've got the open A. Okay, and then we got 4 of these plucks. Okay, so it's boom, 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 and then the chords again. Okay, so far we got this. Okay, so you're gonna have to get that tune in your head. If you can get that solid, then we're on our way. Okay. So if you used to count it, it would be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, that may help, that may not. Then we're gonna go. So we got a full bar of plucking. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so it's essentially 6 plucks on the low D string as it is now. And then the A string, 1 more on the D string, and back into the plucking. So that next bar, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and I find it really easy, or very helpful basically, to tap my foot to the beat for this one. So when you're doing this, you just keep that groove going, and it's on the 4th beat that you hit the A string. So it'll be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so you can count it and feel it. But if you know the tune really well, you might be okay not counting it, but tapping your foot is always good practice anyway. Okay, so and then you just basically keep that groove going. So you've got that. This is from the beginning. So that's the main theme going. Get good at that. Don't have to be super duper tight with the exact amount of plucks when you're learning it. Ideally you will be, and you'll be able to count it and play it very accurately, but you can get too hung up on so many details. The groove is the most important thing. If you add in an extra beat here and there, don't worry too much, okay? You can tidy that up as we go along, but just get it sounding groovy. You know, trying to get that going with the alternated bass notes and the little plucks. Okay, so we're starting off with 5 bass note plucks. Okay, let the last one ring out a little bit. Then we're doing this riff. Okay, and what we're doing there is open A, 2nd fret A, open D, open A. So those 4 notes. Open A, 2nd fret A, open D, open A, with that rhythm. Okay, then we're going to do a bar across the 2nd fret of the low D, A and the D string, and we're going to pinch the low D and the D together. So you do a pinch, yeah, and then you're going to do a hammer on with that ring finger to the 4th fret on the D, and then take it off, the ring finger that is, so you're keeping your bar, and you're doing a pinch again. Okay, so that riff all together. Okay, the first half of the riff, bar, okay. Then you're doing 4 more bass notes, and then a pluck of the A string, which should still be barred at the 2nd fret. Back to that bass note. Okay, so let's just start that off from a little bit earlier. Okay, A string, low D again. Back to the same part of that second part of that riff, which is just the 2nd fret to 4th fret hammer on, with a pinch on the low D and the D. Okay, 4 more bass plucks. Then we're going to hit the A string twice this time for this riff. D string once, open D once. So that riff. Okay. And then 4 on the open low D. And then the final riff of this section, which is just 2nd fret D, open A, open D. Okay, so let's just take a moment to recap, because there's a lot going on here. You've basically got little riffs interplayed with the groove. The first riff is the, okay, and then we're just interplaying that with the groove on the open low D. The next riff, okay, then some more bass notes on the 2nd fret low D. Next riff, okay, and then the next riff, and then the next riff. So it's a good idea to get really good at those little riffs, highlight those, get them as tight as you can, because all we're doing after that is just filling in the gaps with the groove. You can learn the riffs on their own and come back and put the groove in, or you can learn the riffs and try and get the groove at the same time. Either will work, but it depends on what you're most comfortable with. Okay, and after we've done that, we go back to the same thing as we've done in the intro. Okay, and then we bring back the riffs. This one, the first big riff, okay, and then the next riff changes slightly. So there's 4 bass plucks here, but this time we're doing, okay, so that's quite a nice little one. It's just a variation really. 4th fret D, 2nd fret G, open B, okay, and then you're going into the hammer on from 2 to 4 on the D. Okay, so put that together. 4, 2, 0 on the D, G and B. Okay. And then we go in for a different riff here. So once we've done 4 bass plucks on the 2nd fret, then it's 2nd fret A, open D, 2nd D, 4th D, open D. So most of that's on the D string. So 2nd fret A, then open 2, 4, 0 on the D. And then we bring back this 2nd fret on the D, open A, open D. So there's a lot going on there already, and to get that tight will take a while. This is quite an in-depth, intricate piece, this, okay? So get the riff sorted, get the groove going, get the foot tapping. Okay, we'll put it all together. That there completes part 1. Okay, literally the first part and the second part are the same. You start off doing the chordal stuff, and then you do the riffs. Then you go back to the chordal stuff and then do the riffs, but the riffs the second time are a little bit more of a variation. Okay, but you don't have to do the variations, you just play what you feel with this, because this is one of those arrangements where you don't have to be ultra accurate to the song, but you need to be, you know, in the right groove and in the right sort of ideas. Okay, we're going to do part 2 now, which in some ways is a bit simpler. Okay, first off, it's a 4 bar of on the open low D, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we're going up to 7th fret from the capo, which, because the capo is on fret 2, it's the 9th fret, and we're going to do this little shape. Okay, it's where it gets really melodic, by the way. It's where I really like the piece. So middle finger's going on 7th fret on the D, index is going on 7th fret of the B. You could swap your fingers around and do it that way, but in a minute I'll explain why we're doing it this way. So middle's on the D, index is on the B. Okay, so we've just done 1 4 bar of, okay, and then we're going to go, okay. So here for the second bar we're doing 7th fret, then we're doing 5 bass notes, Okay, then we're doing a pinch of these D and B again, moving it down to the 5th fret, and then 3rd and 4th frets. So 3rd fret on the B, 4th fret on the D. So it's 7 and 7, 5 and 5, and then 4 and 3. 4 on the D, 3 on the B. That's why we're doing it this way around with the fingers, not this way around. If we did it this way around, we wouldn't be able to get the fingers in the right position. So it's awkward, a little bit anyway, these fingers like this, but it makes the chord easier. So just practice that section. And then back up to the 7. So we got and then it's more bass notes. Pinch again. Okay, the second time the only difference is, instead of doing that, we go, it's a double pinch when you go back up to 7. Okay, so this little section is to finish off this bar. Okay, we just hitted some bass notes, 5 of them, 5 bass notes. And we're doing this, we're leading into that section. Okay, so we're going, that's where that finishes off with 1 on the low D, 2 on the low D. Okay, then the next bar, and we're going to pinch the open, high E, low D. We're going to hammer that on. There's a little hammer on there, but while plucking the low D at the second. Okay, and once you hammer on, take your finger off and do an open, high E. Finish the bar off with the low D at the 2nd fret. That same hammer on and pluck again, and then it's open, high E, 3rd fret on the B, open high E, open B, 3rd fret on the B. So those little riffs there. So we've just finished from, so we've just gone from, this is without the bass notes, we'll do the riffs now. Get those melodies really tight, because all you're doing, like I said before, is filling in the blanks with the amount of bass plucks. Okay, you can play along with me in the intro playthrough to get this super tight and get it just quite right. Okay, so that's that section done. We'll just recap those little notes anyway. So it's the basically open high E, hammer on, 2nd fret, open. There you go. Repeat. Open high E, 3rd fret B. Open high E, open B, 3rd fret B. So you got. Okay, get those melodies accurate, okay? Then we're going to go to part 3 now, which is really cool as well. It gets really even more melodic now, and it's this. Okay, so that's the first part of it, and what we're doing there is 5th fret on the high E, 7th fret, 5th fret, open, 2nd. So it's 5th, 7, 5, 0, 2. 5. Same again, 7, 5, 0, 2, then 7, 5 at the end. Okay, and obviously with the bass going in between. So you got 5, 7, 5, 0, 2, 5, 7, 5, 0, 2, 7, 5. 7, 5, 0, 2, 7, 5. So you got all together that bit. Okay, and with the bass going, you can do the counting, you can feel the groove if you want. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, and then we're going into the next part, well, the next bit of part 3 here. So I get that good. Again, you know, you can count it out, feel it out, but get the melodies really tight and accurate there. The next bit then is just the end of part 3, so the main bulk of the piece is done now, so it's just the last new bit, okay? And what we're doing here is this. Okay, so this melody is a slide from 3rd fret of the B and high E to the 2nd frets of the B and high E. You're going to have to practice that. Okay, then we're going to do a pinch 2nd fret on the G, 3rd fret on the B. Okay, and then 2nd fret of the low D, where we're just going to plug that and pinch the top 3 strings as well. Okay, so that little melody is. 3 on the B and high E, slide into 2 on the B and high E, 2nd on the G, 3 on the B, 2nd on the low D. Okay, repeat. Then we're going to change it up and do. Okay, so it's slightly different there, where it's slide from 3 to 2 again, and then it's open on the B and high E. Then we're going to go into the 2nd fret G, 3rd fret B. This time it's the open low E, so it's just like switching it around a little bit there. So that new bit, 3, 2, open, then 2 on the G, 3 on the B. With an open low D to go with it. Okay, so far we've got, and again, now the change. Okay, and then the final bit here is where we're going to go from 3, 2nd fret of the G, 3 on the B. Just slide that down, that 3rd fret on the B, slide it to 2nd, leave the index where it is on the 2nd of the G, take them off for an open G and B, and then we've got 4th fret on the D, 2nd fret on the G. And that wraps up that part before we go back to the outro, where there's a couple of subtle variations. Okay, so part 3 altogether. To the outro. Now notice a couple of times I added in or took out a couple of bass notes, but the groove was going, okay? So it didn't sound bad, it didn't sound terrible, because the melodies were there and the groove was there. And that's what you got to go for with this. And then, you know, the exact amount of bass notes, you can worry about that a little bit later, okay? So now we're going to just finalise it and go to the outro, which is like where part one comes back. Okay, and then once we've done that a couple of times, we're going into the riff, which we've already done earlier, which is the open A, second fret A, open D, open A, hammer on, from 2 to 4 on the D, back to 2. The bass working its way through the second fret of the A, riff again. Okay, so I'll just take you through those riffs. Okay, and then we got the second fret of the A twice, second fret of the D, open D. A little 4-2-0 on the D, G, and open on the B. Back to the hammer on, which we like. That, and then we're going to go into, okay, so that's second fret of the A, open D, second fret of the A, second fret of the D, open D, then back to the, and the final little bit of the riff, which is second A, 0-2-4 on the D. Where to finish it off, I'll bend that a little bit out of tune, and then we do this harmonic across the 7th fret. So the harmonic right at the end, all we're going to do is get your index finger dead straight, put it along across the 7th fret, so 7th from the capo, which is technically the 9th fret, exactly over the fret, so it's lightly touching just above the fret. You're not pressing down, you're not after that, or that, you're just lightly touching the strings as gently as you can, but keep your fingers straight so that the fret is pretty much in the middle of your finger. And you give it a little flick, and you get that bright, harpy kind of sound. Okay, that's just a little bonus, you don't have to finish it with that. Right, it's a really complicated sort of one to teach this, okay, as you probably found, it's very difficult. It's piecing it together. We're essentially combining the two instruments, that driving bass throughout, where there's a different amount of bass notes throughout. I mean, the bass notes are pretty much always on the open D, and then for a couple of bars in each section, it's the second fret. So you can just practice that. Good idea to do that, and then you want to take each riff chunk by chunk and you get that, combine it, add it into the bass notes. Okay, you don't even have to do the bass notes, you can just do the riffs and get somebody else doing the bass notes, which is quite a cool sort of beginner way of doing it, but even intermediates will have fun doing that. And the idea is you just get all these little riffs and melodies, you know, just piece it all together and just get it going with that groove. So you're looking just to get that, somehow get in the groove. With the bass, okay? Hope you enjoyed it. It's a difficult one. It's not the easiest. Technically, it's not as difficult as some pieces, but it's putting it all together, tying it in so it sounds musical. So take your time. Just do a little section and just do your favourite section. It doesn't have to be the beginning section. You know, all these parts in this piece are super melodic. So it's a great piece, have fun, take your time. If it takes you a few months to get it, don't worry, keep coming back to it. Have fun, and I'll see you in a video soon. Cheers, bye-bye.